ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जयम्। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। Namaskar and welcome back to Amara Bharati Samskrita YouTube channel, where we are studying the Manika class 9 Sanskrit textbook. In that Chaturtha Patha, lesson number 4, Vidyayaa Bhaanti Sadgunaah. Noble qualities shine from or because of learning or knowledge. We now look at the lesson along with an English explanation. So, what is the meaning of this title? Vidyayaa Bhaanti Sadgunaah. Vidyaya means from or because of learning, education or knowledge. Bhaanti, glow or shine. Sadgunaah, noble qualities. So the meaning is noble qualities shine from or because of learning or knowledge. It can also be said as noble qualities shine more because of learning or knowledge. Now, as usual, there's an introductory conversation which we see now. Malavika. Bho Sukumara. Malavika says, O Sukumara, Kimartham Chintitaha Asi. Kimartham Chintitosi. Why are you engrossed in thought or meaning worry or anxiety? Sukumara. Sukumar says, Mama Anujasya Pathane Ruchihi Na Asti. Ruchihi Nasti. My younger brother is not having interest or taste in studies. Malavika. Malavika says, Sukumara, O Sukumar, Mama Pustake Eka Katha Asti. In my book, there's a story. Yatra Ekaha Raja Api Evameva Chintitaha Asid. Where a king was also engrossed in such a thought. Sukumara says, Satyam. Is that true? Kim kritam tada tena rajnya. What was then done by that king? Sukumara asks. Malavika replies, Tada rajnya ekaha vidwan ahutaha. Then by that king was invited a scholar. Saha surochakabhi kathabhihi. He, by enlightening or stimulating stories, rochaka means very enlightening stories, very engrossing stories, Rajaputran Niti Shastram Apatayat. He taught ethics. Niti Shastra is ethics or morality. He taught to the princess Rajaputran. Tasam Kathanam Sangraha Api Vidyate. There also exists a collection of all of these stories. Next, Sukumara says, Ascharyam, wonderful. Kim nama tat pustakam, what is the name of that book? Malavika says, Tasya nama Hitopadeshaha. The book's name is Hitopadesha. Tasya prarambhe eva. In the beginning of that book itself, Idam varnitam. It is described yet that Vidyam vina manusyasya jivanam vyartham. Without learning or education, the life of a person is indeed a waste. Sukumar says, Pathaniyam tat pustakam. That book is indeed to be read or to be studied. Malavika says, Maya saha agacha. Come with me. Adya eva asmakam acharyaha tam katham pathayishyati. Today itself our acharya will teach that particular story. Tam katham, that story my acharya will teach us. Sukumar says, Sukumaraha, Mama etat saubhagyam. This is indeed my fortune. Pathamah tavat patham. Then let us study that particular lesson. Now, in this picture is shown Deva Mahakula Sambhuta Ete Rajaputraha. O Lord, these princes are indeed born in a great clan. Tanmaya Nitim Grahitum Shakyante. Therefore, they are capable of receiving or learning morality from me. Now we go to the lesson proper. Asti Bhagirathi Tire. On the banks of the river Bhagirathi. The Bhagirathi is nothing but river Ganga. Patali Putra Namadheyam Nagaram is a city by name Pataliputra. You may know that Pataliputra is the current day Patna, capital of Bihar. Pataliputra, Patna has a history which is dating more than 3000 years since the days of Magadha, Chandragupta, Ashoka and so on. It's a very learned city. Tatra Sarva Swami Gunopetah Sudarshanah Nama Narapatihi Asit. There was a king by name Sudarshana who had all the good qualities of kings, means rulers of all people. Sarva Swami Gunopetah. He had all the good qualities of the kings or rulers of all the people. Saha Bhupatihi Ekada Pathyamanam Shlokadvayam Chutavan. That king once heard 2 shlokas being recited or chanted. Aneka samshayochedi paroksharthasya darshakam sarvasya lochanam shastram yasya nastyandha eva saha. Aneka samshayochedi paroksharthasya darshakam sarvasya lochanam shastram yasya nastyandha eva saha. The padacheda, the pada vibhaga is like this. Aneka samshaya uchchedi paroksha arthasya darshakam sarvasya lochanam shastram yasya nasti andhaha eva saha. The Anvaya prose order is Shastram Aneka Samshaya Uchchedi Paroksha Arthasya Darshakam Asti. Punaha cha etat sarvasya janasya lochanam iva yasya parshve na asti saha tu andha eva asti. What is the meaning of the individual words? Pratipadartha is Aneka, many. Samshaya Uchchedi, having capability to clear or eradicate the doubts. Paroksha Arthasya, of the unseen or the unforeseen. Darshakam, capable of showing. Sarvasya, of all. Lochanam, eye, or the real eye. Shastram, shastras. Yasya, of which. Nasti, na, not having. Andhaha, blind. Eva saha, he is indeed. What is the overall meaning? Shastras are indeed the real eyes of everyone. They have the capabilities of eradicating all types of doubts and also are capable of showing the unseen or the unforeseen. One who does not have the knowledge of Shastras is indeed blind. Even though he may have eyes, he is blind. Explanation. Shasti Trayate iti chaiti shastram. This is the definition of the Shastra. Shastras are those scriptures which ordain duties to a person and also protect a person who obeys such an ordainment. Shastras prescribe vidhi, or those duties which are certainly to be done, and nishedha, those acts which are to be not done, those acts which are forbidden. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 16, Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavasthitau, means you have to follow the Shastras in respect of what is to be done and what is to be avoided. Next shloka. Yavvanam dhana sampattihi prabhutvam avivekita ekaikamapyanarthaya kimu yatra chatushtayam. Yavvanam dhana sampattihi prabhutvam avivekita ekaikamapyanarthaya kimu yatra chatushtayam. Padacheda is like this. Yavvanam dhana sampattihi प्रभुत्वम् अविवेकिता एक एकम् अपि अनर्थाय किमु यत्र चतुष्टयम्. अन्वय प्रोस ऑर्डर इज यौवनम धनसंपत्तिः प्रभुत्वम् अविवेकिता च एक एकम् अपि अनर्थाय पर्याप्तं भवन्ति. यत्र चतुष्टयम् तत्र किं भविष्यति? What is the प्रतिपदार्थ? यौवनम is youth or young age. धनसंपत्तिः possession of abundance of wealth. Prabhutvam kingship, might, power, overlordship. Avivekita lack of discrimination of right, wrong, good, bad, duty, non-duty, dharma, adharma. Ekaikam, each one of them, api, by itself, anarthaya, harmful, causing evil. Kimu, what to say, yatra, where, chatushtayam, all the four are present. What is the overall meaning? Each of these four, youth, abundance of wealth, power, and lack of discriminatory thinking, is individually capable of causing harm or bad consequences. What more to say when all these four are present together in a person, in a single person? So youth, though it is the time when a person is the most creative, it can lead one astray if the mind and senses are not kept in control. Then abundance of wealth, dhanasampatti. Wealth, though useful, when present in abundance, can indeed make one arrogant and lead to evil and kind of bad spending of the wealth. Might or prabhutvam is, though a person needs to be powerful, this can lead to misuse against those people who are weak. Avivekita, lack of discrimination, certainly leads one to take wrong decisions in life. What more to say when all these four things are present together in one person? Next. Atmanah putranam anadhikata shastranam nityam unmargagaminam acharaheenataya udvignamanaha sah raja achintayat. Atmanah putranam, because of his sons, anadhigata shastranam, not having knowledge of the shastras, not knowing the shastras, nityam unmargagaminam, who were every day or always treading on the wrong path, acharaheenataya udvignamanaha sah raja. Acharaheenataya means, and who are without proper conduct, without good conduct. Udvignamanaha sah raja, the king with an anxious or a grieved mind, achintayat, thought like this. What did he think? Sajato yena jatena yati vamshas samunnatim parivartini samsare mritah kova na jayate. Sajato yena jatena yati vamshas samunnatim parivartini samsare mritah kova na jayate. Padacheda is saha jataha ena jatena yati vamshaha samunnatim parivartini samsare mritaha kaha va na jayate. Anvaya is ena jatena vamshaha samunnatim yati saha eva jataha asti asmin parivartini samsare kaha mritaha kaha va na jayate. Now the pratipadartha. Saha, he, that person, jataha, is born, yena, by whose, jatena, birth, yati, gets, vamshaha, the clan, family, samunnatim, elevation, advancement, eminence, parivartini, in this ever-changing, samsare, samsara world, pritaha, die, kaha, who, va, ever, na, or no, or not, jayate, is born. What is the overall meaning? In this ever-changing world, who is it that does not indeed die? Who is not born? Every person who is born has to die. That person is the really born person, by whose birth his entire clan, family attains eminence or elevation. This world, parivartini samsare, this world is changing every day. there's only one thing that does not change in this world, and that is change itself. The world is always changing. I have heard Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, our beloved president, used to say, what worked yesterday will not work today. He was telling this in terms of a management context, meaning that what methods of work were working yesterday are not likely to work today. So you have to change the method of working. The world is in a constant flux, changing every moment. Every moment we see births and deaths around us. The question comes, am I leading just an ordinary life, or is there something good that I am doing to the world? A person who makes a positive difference to the world is indeed a really born person, bringing eminence to his or her family or clan. Others are just living, breathing in and out without any use to the world. Next, Varame ko guni putra nacha murkhashata anyapi ekaschandrastamo hanti nacha tara ganairapi. Varame ko guni putra nacha murkhashata anyapi ekaschandrastamo hanti nacha tara ganairapi. Padacheda is Varam ekaha Guni putraha na cha murkha shatani api ekaha chandraha tamaha hanti na cha taraganihi api. Anvaya prose order is ekaha guni putraha varam bhavati shatani api murkhaha varam cha na bhavanti ekaha chandraha hanti tat tamaha taraganihi api na hanyate. The Pratipadartha is varam, best or preferred. Ekaha, one. Guni, having good qualities. Putraha, son. Nacha, and not. Murkha shatani, 100 foolish sons. Api, also. Ekaha, one. Chandraha, moon. Tamaha, darkness. Hanti, destroys. Nacha, and not. Taraganihi, constellation of stars. Api, also. Overall meaning is a single son endowed with noble qualities is preferred to 100 sons who are foolish. A single moon dispels darkness and not the millions of stars in their constellations. Millions or even billions. So it is preferable to have one child who is endowed with multitude of noble qualities in place of having 100 children who are fools or idiots. The good work done by a single offspring is much, much better than the foolish works done by 100 foolish children. The moon, being alone in the sky, can dispel darkness, whereas millions or billions of stars cannot dispel darkness. Now, here is a small scientific aspect. Why is the sky dark at night, in spite of there being billions of stars? Search on the internet for something called Olber's paradox, which is a scientific interesting fact, and comment on what you learn. Next, tat katham idanim ete mama putraha gunavantah kriyatam. Then how are these boys of mine to be made as endowed with good qualities? Yataha, because Mata Shatruf Pita Vairi Yena Balo Na Pathitaha Na Shobhate Sabha Madhye Hamsa Madhye Pako Yatha. Mata Shatruf Pita Vairi Yena Balo Na Pathitaha Na Shobhate Sabha Madhye Hamsa Madhye Bako Yatha. Padacheda is like this. Mata Shatruho Pita Vairi Yena Balaha Na Pathitaha Na Shobhate Sabha Madhye Hamsa Madhye Bakaha Yatha. Anvaya is Yena Yabhyam Mata Pitrabhyam Balaha Na Pathitaha Tadrishi Mata Shatruho तादृशः पिता वैरी भवति तयोः पुत्राः सभा मध्ये तथा न शोभन्ते यथा हंस मध्ये बकः न शोभते. The Pratipadartha is like this. Mata is mother, Shatruhu is enemy, Pita, father, Vairi is enemy or foe, Yena, by whom, Balaha, a son or a child, Na Pathitaha is not made educated, Nashobhate, he does not shine, Sabha Madhye, in the midst of a gathering or a congregation of wise persons, Hamsa Madhye, in the midst of swans, Bakaha, a stork or a crane, Yatha, just as. The overall meaning is a son or a child who is not made educated by his mother and father. For him, the mother is indeed an enemy and the father is indeed a foe. Such a son will not shine amidst a congregation of wise persons, just as a stork does not shine amidst a congregation of swans. It is indeed the duty of a mother and father to raise their children such that they are well educated and become good citizens of society. The parents should bring up their children such that they can not only live independently in the world but are also noble enough. A mother and father who fail to perform the above duty are indeed enemies of their children. I remember having heard from a great person that he was made to get up every day at 5 a.m. when he was a small child, less than 10 years of age, by his parents and grandparents, and he was made to do yoga and tell his prayers every day at 5 a.m. in the morning. This discipline in young age made him achieve great things in life. Otherwise, he would have been a very lazy person. So it is important for the mother and father to bring discipline in the life of the children at a very young age and make them educated and become good citizens of society. That's what the king thinks. रूपयौवन संपन्ना विशाल कुल संभवाः विद्याहीना न शोभन्ते निर्गन्धा इव किंशुकाः रूपयौवन संपन्ना विशाल कुल संभवाः विद्याहीना न शोभन्ते निर्गन्धा इव किंशुकाः. पदच्छेद is रूप यौवन संपन्नाः विशाल कुल संभवाः विद्याहीनाः न शोभन्ते निर्गन्धाः इव किंशुकाः. अन्वय is ये जनाः रूप यौवन संपन्नाः विशाल कुल संभवाः सन्ति ते निर्गन्धाः किंशुकाः इव कदापि न शोभन्ते. The Pratipadartha is like this. Rupa yavana sampannaha, endowed with good looks and youth. Vishala kula sambhavaha, born in illustrious family. Vidyahinaha, those without education. Nashobhante, will not shine. Nirgandhaha, bereft of fragrance. Iva, just like kimshukaha, the kimshuka flower, a kind of flower. Overall meaning is those persons who, even though endowed with good looks and youth and also born in an illustrious family, illustrious clan, who are bereft of education, will not shine in this world. They will be just like the kimshuka flowers, which may be beautiful but are without any fragrance. In this world, it is just not enough to have good looks, be youthful, and be born in an illustrious family. These may be good things to have, but they are not sufficient. What gives completeness to a person is learning and knowledge. It is said that a learned person without good looks, without youth, and not born in an illustrious clan, but having good knowledge, education, learning, he is the person who shines well in this world. A simile is given with the kimshuka flower, which is attractive to look at, but is bereft of fragrance. Atra tu daivam karanam iti na uchitam. Here it is not correct to consider destiny as the cause. Ataha sarvatha daivam alasyam cha vihaya. Therefore, having completely given up destiny, daivam is nothing but destiny, and alasyam is laziness. Having given up destiny and laziness, purusharthaha vidyayaa. Human effort is indeed to be applied. Etat chintayitva. Having thought this, Raja Pandita Sabham Karitavan. The king called for a congregation of scholars. Raja Avadat, the king said, Bhoha Panditaha, O scholars, Shruyatam Mama Vachanam, listen to my words. Asti Kaschit Evam Bhuto Vidwan. Is there any such scholar, Yaha, who Mama Putranam Nityam Unmargagaminam, who is capable of Nityam Unmargagaminam Anadhikata Shastranam Idanim Niti Shastropadeshena Punarjanma Karayitum Samartaha. Idanim Niti Shastra Upadeshena Punarjanma Karayitum Samartaha, who is capable of rejuvenating my sons by means of Niti Shastra, by means of imparting ethical knowledge of the scriptures. What kind of sons? Nityam Unmargagaminam. Such sons who are every day engaged in treading or going on the wrong path. Anadhigata Shastranam, who are ignorant of the scriptures. Is there anyone among you scholars, who can correct my children, who can bring my children back to the right track? Atra antare, in the meantime, Vishnu Sharma Nama Mahapanditaha, a great scholar by name Vishnu Sharman, Sakala Niti Shastra Tattvajnaha, who was an expert in all the scriptures, means which tell about the ethics. Brihaspati Hiva Avadat, who was just like Brihaspati, the guru of the gods, the Devatas. You may know that the planet Jupiter is what we call as Brihaspati Graha. Brihaspati is the guru of the gods or the Devatas. Avadat, he said, Deva Maha Kula Sambhuta Ete Rajaputraha. These princes are indeed born in a noble royal clan. Tad Maya Nitim Grahayitum Shakyante. Therefore, they are capable of grasping or learning ethical principles from me. Maya, from me. Ataha aham, therefore, I Shanmasabhyantare Bhavat Putran Niti Shastrabhignan Karishyami. Within the next 6 months, Shanmasabhyantare, within the next 6 months, aham, I, what will I do? I will make your sons skillful in ethical principles. Bhavat Putran Niti Shastra Abhignan. I will make them skillful in ethical principles. Raja Savinayam Punaravadat. The king replied with humility. Kaha atra sandehaha. Is there any doubt regarding this? Next, what happened? Kitopi sumanas sangadaro hati satam shiraha ashmapi yati devatvam mahadbhis supratisthitaha. Kitopi sumanas sangadaro hati satam shiraha ashmapi yati devatvam mahadbhis supratisthitaha. Kitaha, the padacheda is Kitaha api sumanaha sangat arohati satam shiraha ashma api yati devatvam mahadbhihi supratisthitaha. Anvaya is yatha sumanaha sangat kitaha api satam shiraha arohati tatha eva mahadbhihi supratisthitaha ashma api devatvam yati. The Pratipadartha is Kitaha, an insect, Api also, Sumanas Sangat, because of the association of flowers with flowers. Arohati ascends, Satam of noble persons, Shiraha, head or the crest. Ashma, stone, Api also, Yati gets acquires Devatvam, godliness. Mahadbhi, by great people, Supradishtitaha, installed well. Meaning, even an insect, being in the company of flowers, ascends to the crest of noble persons. Even a stone, when properly installed by great persons, attains godliness. What is the explanation? The greatness of the company of noble persons is told here. There's a saying, tell me who your friend is. I will tell you who you are. If my friend is a noble person, then I will attain nobility just by the company of that friend. However, if my friend is wicked, then I will also attain wickedness. Two examples are given here. One of an insect which can ascend great heights by just being amidst flowers. It can go to the crest of a person, to the throne, to the head of a person. The second example is a stone which gets carved as a deity and gets installed in a temple and that thus gets worshipped every day by thousands and thousands of devotees. Therefore, always be in the company of great people. तदेतेषाम् अस्मत्पुत्राणां नीतिशास्त्र उपदेशाय. Therefore, for these sons, for imparting ethical knowledge of the scriptures, Niti Shastra Upadeshaya, Bhavantaha Pramanam. All of you are the testimony, which means the congregation of scholars who has assembled there are the testimony. Iti Uktva, having said so, Tasya Vishnu Sharmanah Kare Bahumana Purassaram Putran Samarpitavan. The king handed over his sons to the hands of Vishnu Sharma, Bahumana Purassaram, in a very highly respectable manner. Tataha Vishnu Sharma. Then Vishnu Sharma, what did he do? Pashu, Pakshi, Jantunam, Manoranjakabhihi, Prerana Pradabhi cha Kathabhihi. By means of stories, entertaining stories with animals, birds, Pashu, Pakshi, Jantu, and Prerana Pradabhicha, filled with inspirational messages, Tan Rajakumaran Shikshitavan, imparted learning to those princes. Etasam Kathanam Sankalanam Eva, the collection of these stories, Hitopadeshaha Namaka Grantaha Prasiddha Jataha, is now famous as the book Hitopadesha. Now, if you want to learn Hitopadesha, there's a bestseller book by Amar Chitrakatha. There's a collection of 24 titles from the Jataka tales of the Bodhisattva of Lord Buddha. Then Panchatantra and Hitopadesha. In this big collection, you can get a lot of stories from Hitopadesha also, which I suggest you tell your parents to get them for you. And then there's also a book from Chokamba Press in Varanasi in Hindi, which is Hitopadesha, as shown here, which I would also want you to learn if you are very familiar with reading Hindi. Well, this brings me to the end of this lesson part. Vidyayaa Bhaanti Sadgunaah, Chaturtha Pata. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. See you in the next video with the exercise part of this lesson. YouTube Amara Bharati Samskrita Shubham Bhuyat Mangalamastu Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.